This is Rachel. She's in a loving relationship with this guy, Ross. So why is she this angry?
Ross, you had sex with another woman.
Normally, when you're caught cheating, it's simple. You're in the wrong. However, Ross doesn't exactly feel that way because
we were on a break!
Let's back up. Ross and Rachel are in a huge fight because for weeks now, Ross has been jealous of Rachel's coworker and he's constantly upset she's always working instead of being with him. Rachel is fed up and finally snaps.
Oh, maybe we should just take a break.
Okay, fine. You're right. Let's take a break. Let's cool off, okay? Let's get some frozen yogurt or something.
No, a break from us.
After storming out, Ross ends up having a one-night stand, which to him is not cheating. But when Rachel finds out, she can't forgive Ross and breaks up with him. So who was right?
There is no right or wrong here.
No, I think it's very obvious who's wrong here.
This was one of the most famous debates and punchlines in TV history.
We were on a break! We were on a break.
So, were they on a break? Does it really count as cheating? I'm breaking down each side and revealing, once and for all, the actual truth. And also, what was the moment Ross lost Rachel? Because it wasn't this, or this, or this. Now, in case you didn't know, we're talking about the sitcom Friends. Ross is that classic lovable nice guy who gets the girl in spite of how awkward and nerdy he is. But he can also be cringe as fuck. He's not only clingy, constantly complaining Rachel prioritizes work and doesn't spend enough time with him, but he's insecure.
Mark's an idiot.
Rachel keeps telling Ross she needs space, and when she's stuck at work and can't make their anniversary dinner, Ross goes, she needs her space. I know. I'll smother her even more at her workplace and make an ass of myself, leading to a big fight and to this.
Oh, maybe we should just take a break.
After Ross storms out, Rachel realizes that it was just a heat of the moment thing.
I don't want to take a break.
Ross feels the same.
I've been thinking this is crazy. I mean, don't you think we can work on this?
So this should be resolved, right? Well.
Hello?
Oh, hi. It's Mark.
Oh.
Isn't tonight your big anniversary dinner? Rach, are you okay?
Sensing Rachel's not okay, Mark insists on coming over to lend a friendly ear. But Rachel has zero intentions with Mark. She desperately wants to make things right with Ross, and he's about to give her that chance.
Hello.
Hi, it's me.
Oh, I'm so glad you called.
And right as they're about to make up,
Hey, what do you want to drink?
Is that Mark?
Honey, look, he just came over.
Yeah, got it.
furious, Ross says, "I'll show her," and get some revenge sex. Just kidding. He actually gets all depressed and wants to go home, but this girl has other plans.
Come dance.
That's okay, thanks.
Despite his rejections, like the Terminator, she cannot be stopped. Now, when Ross finds out nothing happened with Rachel and Mark, and she wants to make it work, Ross is relieved. Now all he has to do is ensure Rachel doesn't find out. Yeah, she finds out, which brings us here. Ross does everything he can to try and convince Rachel to forgive him, staying throughout the night, begging, pleading, but it's no use. Rachel sees it one way.
You're a totally different person to me now. God, and now I just can't stop picturing you with her. It's just changed everything.
And she breaks up with him. So, who was right and who was wrong? Comment your opinion. Ross or Rachel? I'll see if I can change your mind. Let's break down each side, starting with Rachel's perspective. She's hurt because Ross slept with someone else. And yes, technically they were on a break, but from her perspective, it was a break, meaning a pause with the intention to resume. Kind of hard to hit resume knowing your man has just been inside someone else. Another point for Rachel is that her suggestion of taking a break was just that, a suggestion.
Oh, maybe we should just take a break.
Note the word maybe. And also, it was in the heat of the moment. If you've ever been in a relationship, you know that when emotions are flying high, you might say some shit you don't mean. And this proves true later.
I told him I wanted to take a break. I don't want to take a break.
She said it, but in the end, she realized it was not her intention. In defense of Rachel, Ross, as a man, should know that when a woman is emotionally heated, she's going to use words that are heated, but she may not mean what she's saying. Case in point.
It was awful. I told him he treats me like a park ranger or something.
Translation, what the was I even saying? But what's one of the most important reasons Rachel is so mad? Well, Ross slept with someone this same night of their fight, literally within a couple hours. Imagine you're in a long-term loving relationship with someone. You break up at 9 p.m. and by midnight, they're inside someone else. So I get why Rachel wasn't exactly thrilled. She's thinking, if he really loved me, he'd be sad, he'd be crushed. He wouldn't have the energy to even think about being with someone else. The sad part, that was the case. Ross was super sad and wanted nothing to do with this girl. She had to get him drunk, make multiple advances, and all but jump on his dick to get him to respond to her. But Rachel doesn't know that. You know what she does know is that Ross enjoyed the sex. Yeah, how the did she find that out? Well, Ross fucking told her.
How was she?
She was different.
Good? Different?
Nobody likes change.
Now, Ross is a nice guy. He's not going to lie. And although I don't suggest lying, I'll explain why this was such a monumental fuck up on his part. To Rachel, sex is very meaningful. It symbolizes a deep connection or love. See, for us guys, it's a lot easier to compartmentalize sex into just the physical act versus the way we actually feel about the girl. To Ross, it's very obnoxious that he's not into this girl. Wait, obnoxious? Oh, yeah, right, okay. Let me take that again. To Ross, it's very obvious that he's not into this girl. For Rachel, she equates the sex to making love. So when Ross lets out that the sex was good, in Rachel's mind, it means something. And it falls on deaf ears when he says,
She meant nothing to me.
it means a fucking lot to her. This has actually transcended friends, and even in other stories where the girl gives permission.
We're on a serious break here, Charlie. You could do whatever the fuck you want. Get all the stank on your hang low you could get. Go for broke.
Baby, come on. Hey. We were taking a break. I was just getting some stank on my hang.
She's still mad. As men, we're very logical. We take things very literally. When a woman proposes,
a guilt-free pass for this weekend. That means you could do whatever you want up there with no consequences.
we think that means a guilt-free pass with no consequences. But here's the thing, even if she meant it at the time, she's still going to feel the way she feels when she finds out. Women don't think in agreements or contracts. They want you to be her Prince Charming. Come in on a stallion, do whatever it takes to show her that she's the one. And vice versa, they hate it when you do anything that symbolizes she's not the one. So yeah, you can see why Rachel has trouble forgiving Ross. Now, her agreeing to let Mark over, that's where she fucked up. Ross has suspected Mark of trying to get with Rachel for a long time. Half the basis for the whole fight that caused this mess in the first place was his jealousy of Mark. So when he hears that Mark's at Rachel's apartment, obviously he's going to assume the worst and flip the fuck out. Like, what's he supposed to think? The guy is alone at night in her apartment. Now, to Ross's credit, a lot of guys in this situation would jump at the chance to get even, but he doesn't. It's only after countless advances that he caves. And yeah, he should have held strong, but look, it's easy to judge. When you're that drunk and that emotionally hurt, and this is on your mind, I can't fault him too much. Now, the other argument Ross has is the obvious one, that they were on a break.
A break from us.
When Rachel suggests a break, Ross actually thinks they're done.
What can I do? One person wants to break up, you break up.
If you've ever gotten dumped or dumped someone, do you spell it out and literally say the words, "I'm breaking up with you"? Usually it's softened by some other language, like "it's not going to work" or something. So when Ross says,
I thought we were broken up.
he's got a point. Both have strong points. So who's ultimately right? Well, Rachel, she fucked up. Ross, he really fucked up. His mistake started long before the fight itself. How about his decision to try and smother her at work despite her telling him like 1,000 times that she needs space and that she can't have dinner? Being clingy and needy and embarrassing her in front of her colleagues, that's one thing. But his jealousy?
Is this about Mark?
That's what really set Rachel over the edge. Not the one comment itself, but the fact he's been jealous and bringing up Mark constantly in their relationship up to this point, with no actual evidence or even a suggestion of evidence. Now, Ross's second mistake is what he does after he sleeps with the girl. Throughout the season, he constantly argues that they were on a break. Okay, fine. If you were on a break and it so so clear-cut, then why act so guilty? This dude's running around town trying to cover up what he did. Obviously, he doesn't want Rachel to feel hurt, and he's desperate to keep his relationship together, so that part is pretty understandable. But he continues to act super guilty.
I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I was disgusted with myself. And
In one breath, he feels horrible and admits he did something terrible. And then in the next breath,
I thought we were broken up.
if he really felt they were on a break, he should have just said, listen, you said we were on a break, and then I thought you slept with Mark, and I was really drunk and emotional, and I slept with this girl, but she meant nothing. All I was thinking about was you. When Rachel asks,
How was she?
and Ross fails to say,
It was
Horrible.
not good, nothing compared to
obviously, that's when he really fucked up by basically admitting the sex was good to Rachel. That's the moment where Ross really lost Rachel. The nail in the coffin. I mean, to her, it symbolized love. And because of how symbolic it was, that's why she's like,
God, and now I just can't stop picturing you with her.
now some might debate with me here.
Was she good?
Some might say Ross did the right thing by not lying. But to me, he's answering the wrong question. Again, this is the failure of us men to distinguish between what she's saying and what she means. The literal words are asking, was the physical act good? But she's really asking, was it good? Meaning, was it intimate? Was it love-making? Ross's next mistake is actually a lot less obvious. Rachel finds out, she's devastated, and she tells him she needs time.
I want you to leave. Get out of here. Just
No,
get out
no.
now.
Does Ross give her space?
No.
Get out.
And honestly, that part is probably not the end of the world. Both of them have some things they want to get off their chest. But the problem is, Rachel just found out. She hasn't had time to process it. And Ross leaves her zero time to process without pushing for the results that he wants. I mean, the guy is being really desperate and needy, which was the whole point of the fight in the first place. Him being clingy and insecure. Not only that, but remember when Rachel says,
God, and now I just can't stop picturing you with her.
well, of course, it literally just happened today. Give her time to at least sleep on it. Don't hang around staring at her, asking for a decision. Sometimes the things you resist will persist. In this case, his girlfriend's resentment by not giving her space and begging for a decision. He pushes her to make a decision when emotions are still flying high. And here's the thing, she's sad about it. She didn't want the relationship to end. She wishes it could have been different. And it could have been, not just from Ross's mistakes, but her own. From the start, when Rachel was getting all the jealousy from Ross, she should have calmly set her boundaries and said, look, if you can't trust me, then this isn't going to work. And as far as my spending a lot of time at work, my career is important to me. But let's work out a schedule where we can spend time together. She could have also set the expectation at the very beginning of the relationship and said, this is what I expect from my partner. This is actually where I see a lot of people fail in relationships. And trust me, I've made this mistake. At the beginning, you're so careful trying to make a good impression and not upset the other person that you never actually sit down with each other and honestly lay out what you want. If they would have said, here's what I want, okay, good, and here's what I want, then they could have worked out a compromise. Or realized that it wouldn't fit because someone having to give up what they truly wanted would have just built resentment over time. Now, this is a somewhat of an advanced relationship technique. I can't fault Rachel too much for that one, but her agreeing to let Mark over, the very guy Ross is jealous of, to be alone with you in your apartment, probably not the best move. So yeah, both Ross and Rachel failed in many ways. Ross, a lot more than Rachel. But as promised, who was actually right? Rachel for being furious with Ross for sleeping with someone, or Ross justifying sleeping with someone?
We were on a break.
Perfectly clear that you were on a break.
My verdict is he's right. They were on a break. Technically speaking, the definition of a break means pausing the relationship, meaning not currently in effect. The definition of a relationship, two people who agree to be exclusive with each other, meaning they don't sleep with anyone else. So,
A break from us.
means that she's causing the agreement that they can't sleep with others to not be in effect. So yes, they were on a break. It's pretty cut and dry. Ross did not technically cheat. In the Friends reunion show, the cast was asked point blank,
Were Ross and Rachel on a break?
Absolutely. Yes.
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 We were on a break.
Yeah.
and if all this evidence isn't enough to convince you, well, Rachel literally admitted it herself.
I thought we were broken up.
We were on a break.
We were on a break. That, for all I knew, could last forever. That, to me, is a break-up.
You think you're gonna get out of this on a technicality?
Rachel's right. It's a technicality. Ultimately, yes, they were on a break. But here's the thing. My real conclusion is that this is actually one of the least important factors in the whole argument. Regardless of Ross winning on this technicality, he still loses. And so does Rachel. What's the one thing that's most important to both of them? What's the one thing that they both lost? Their relationship. The point isn't who's right or wrong. Both Ross and Rachel failed hard and didn't handle the situation right. I think between the two, Ross clearly failed the hardest. He was a jealous freak, clingy, and made his own girlfriend feel bad about pursuing her career when that's what fulfilled her.
Ross, do you realize this is the first time in my life I'm doing something I actually care about?
That plus all the ways he messed up after she found out. But Ross's flaw throughout all of this is he fails to take responsibility for the consequences of his actions. I actually covered Ross's failures as a human in detail in another video. Like, even in a later season, when Ross gets another shot with Rachel, he blows it yet again. Rachel's willing to give him a chance, but on one condition.
She wants me to take responsibility for everything that went wrong in our relationship.
And he can't. Was she right that it was 100% his fault? Well, yes and no. As Ross points out,
it took 2 people to break up this relationship.
She's wrong in the sense that she's taking 0% responsibility. But at the same time, I think both of them should take 100% responsibility. Look, if you're 50% responsible for the things in your life, then you're 50% a victim. I'd rather be 0% victim and at full cause over everything. Like, if my wife did something that was totally irrational, I could blame her and call out her flaws. Or I could look for ways to be responsible and think, what could I have done or what didn't I do to cause her to act like that? The exact opposite of that viewpoint is Ross, who constantly looks for ways to avoid responsibility, clinging onto this technicality.
We were on a break.
His obsessive need to be right outweighs his need to be happy and in a loving relationship. So next time you're mad at someone else, try and look for ways you could have been responsible. I know that shit is hard. If you got a temper like me, it's easier to just be like, fuck this person. And that response is ordinary, but
There's nothing worse in life than being ordinary.
anyway, comment who you think was right and if I changed your mind. And as always, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. So no one told you what it meant to be on a break. Your job's a joke, you're a dork, your love life's DOA. It's like you're always blowing your shot with the chick that GQ created a Woman of the Year award for because she's that hot. You're a total douche and everyone hates you. You're a total douche. Like I said in another video, you're such a total douche that we're still making videos about you.